The other perspective comes from Mr. Bimpe Otutuloro, who is also a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much.
Well, the matter eventually is in the courts now,
Yes,
so the court will determine, because the Speaker, they've gone to court via that ex parte, seeking to give some interpretation concerning that how they can convene, how the sitting should proceed. And you've followed this matter. I'm sure before the matter got to court, you had a perspective.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
First of all, I'm not surprised that they've gone to court. I'd expect that anybody who suspects that his rights are going to be impinged on should go to court.
Good. If you suspect your right is going to be infringed upon,
yes,
you go to court.
You go to court.
Not when it has been infringed upon.
You don't wait for it to be infringed before you go to court. You might go to court if the infringement is a surprise to you and it comes maybe out of the blues. But if you have seen it coming and you have looked at it from a distance, and I think the best thing is to go to court to prevent it from coming. You get an order of court to stop people from infringing on your rights, particularly those who have openly shown that they want to impinge on your rights.
What rights are we talking about here?
We are talking about the violation of the provision of Section 60 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by the leaders and members of the People's Democratic Party at the federal level against the person of the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal. It is unfortunate that Tambuwal was, if I can put it in the common man's language, was very smart. A lot smarter than most of the PDP legislators in the House, because they have probably suspected that the boat was going to come, but they didn't see it coming the day it did. I guess for all intents and purposes, when the majority leader moved the motion that the House should adjourn till the 3rd of December, they were thinking of forestalling that announcement, but cleverly and smartly under that motion, the Speaker brought in his defection notice to another party.
So it was the name of the Speaker who moved adjournment to the 3rd of December?
It was the majority leader of the House.
You know, what do you say to those who say that, well, if they've gone to court through an ex parte application seeking an order of interim injunction stopping the House of Representatives from convening and removing him from office pending the determination of this case, so does that mean that the court is going to pronounce on when the House can convene after they've heard the case? Maybe, who knows how it will go from Friday.
Being a lawyer, I know that it is not right, and it is not in my place as a lawyer to speculate on the position of the court. It is just right for me to see if this man that has gone to court has any ground that might be heard in court. I think they have a ground, because if there's any move, if you suspect that there's any move, if the Speaker suspects that there's any move from anybody, any group, or group of people trying to convene the House, because the convention of the House is clearly stated both in the Constitution of Nigeria, Section 60, which states that the House has the right to determine how its meetings and its sittings are held. It is totally at the behest and at the control of the House leadership to determine when to move the House. And furthermore, if you go into the orders and rules of the business of the House, Order 5, I think, Rule 18 and Sub-Rule 2 of the business of the House says that, let us paraphrase that order now, or that rule. It's in a nutshell, what that order is trying to say is that before you can convene, after the House had gone on recess, after it had been adjourned, before you can convene a kind of emergency like it is going to happen now, leaders of the parties that are present, that are represented in the House, the leaders of those parties must come to an agreement. And this agreement will have to be passed to the Speaker for the Speaker to convene the House. I don't think it can be done without the Speaker. Any other thing outside of this will be illegal to the extent of however it has gone outside of the laws.
So the House rule is still sacrosanct on this matter?
There's extant laws in the House rules regarding this kind of situations. You cannot just take the laws into your hand here. You cannot go on a gung-ho and determine when to do the... You must realize that we are running a democracy where there is separation of power. The executive has its own powers and the limit of its powers. The legislators have their own. The judiciary has its own. I don't want to be teaching basic government here, but I know that all of us are aware of this, and particularly the members in the House. You see, the joke came on the people of PDP, the members of PDP, when the Speaker dropped the bombshell that he was defecting to the All Progressive Congress. He dropped it at the tail end of the day's business after the House had moved the motion for adjournment. Under that motion, which is allowed by law, I guess if the people, the PDP legislators had been properly schooled in the business of running the House and not just chasing money and chasing oversight functions here and there, if they had been properly schooled in these acts of legislature, they would have realized that you could come under observation, but they were not.
After he dropped the gavel.
After he had no.
No, after
He had dropped the gavel. We can't do anything again. The business of the House is over.
Yeah, because he said before he drops the gavel,
they should have raised an observation.
So while he said it, they should have raised an observation.
Because you were expecting this. Really, it wasn't that they were not expecting it, but they just...
Because even while he was reading, you could have saw where he was going to.
The motion to adjourn was to forestall
that happening.
That particular thing happening, but he was clever. Under that motion, he came in and moved it. And they should have also been, pardon the use of the word, cross-clever. And before he dropped the gavel, moved